Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something really critical for businesses, but, often surprisingly overlooked: business continuity and disaster recovery. We've got this stack of your sources on modern PC management, and honestly, they show some pretty surprising things about how companies handle or maybe struggle with system disruptions. So, our mission today: let's unpack the real risks businesses are facing and explore some cutting-edge solutions that promise to cut down time and keep operations secure.
And it's crucial because the stakes, they've just never been higher, have they? What's really striking, and the sources point this out, is how our super-connected world has just amplified all the risks. Things like malware.
Way to put it. So let's kick things off with that central question from the sources. Are you prepared for your disaster? That sounds simple, doesn't it? But underneath that, there's the vital importance of real business continuity planning. And that, of course, includes having a solid disaster recovery plan.
Exactly. And it's a question that, frankly, many organizations aren't answering well. Here's the statistic that's, startling. More than 77% of companies, they either don't have a proper disaster recovery plan,
or they just don't have the resources needed to actually, execute it if something happens.
77%, that's huge.
It is. And this lack of readiness, it has...
Those aren't just numbers on a page, are they? That's risk to the company's actual existence, its customers, its employees. Imagine, like you said, ransomware hitting the sales team's laptops Monday morning. What does Tuesday even look like then? It does make you wonder, though, with risks this clear, why do so many companies still struggle? What are the standard or traditional DR options, and where do they fall short?
That's the core question, really. Many places have moved to things like virtualization, cloud
services. And okay, yes, they fill some gaps. They can reduce risk for certain kinds of, let's say, network catastrophes. But they bring their own costs, their own challenges. You've got issues like failover.
What about the really old-school DR plans?
The legacy plans. Also very costly, sometimes even more so. And honestly, they come with even bigger headaches. You often need a dedicated failover hardware, a big inventory of spare PCs, expensive backup storage, and just tons of labor for setup, for testing, and crucially for the actual recovery itself, the sources. They're pretty clear. These methods often just don't deliver true business continuity.
So it really sounds like a landscape filled with, inadequate solutions. Almost like there's a fundamental
gap in how organizations protect their digital frontline, especially the endpoints, the laptops, desktops, where employees actually do their work. Given these shortcomings, are the sources pointing towards
or a whole group, or even the entire company's systems in minutes?
Minutes. For an entire company.
That's the claim. And it doesn't matter if it's on-premise or virtualized. What really stands out is this zero-touch idea, even for remote devices. The goal is restoring everything: apps, settings, data, security, compliance, so completely that employees can just carry on working, quote, as if nothing changed.
As if nothing changed. That really is the dream scenario, isn't it?
It is, and they attribute this to 25 years of innovation, powered by a fully automated, intelligent configuration engine that apparently needs no technical expertise to run.
Okay, as if nothing changed sounds amazing, but how? How is that kind of rapid, zero-touch recovery even technically possible? I mean, I'm sure you listening are wondering the same thing. It sounds a bit like magic.
Not magic, but it is a very clever, systematic, automated process. Think of it like this. The image is constantly sort of keeping track of the PC's ideal state, its continually scans the PC, discovers its configuration, collects that info, stores it. Then it creates this tiny secure self-repair kit right on the device itself, a localized recovery space. And it populates this space with known good source files, the OS, drivers, applications.
So the repair kit is right there on the machine.
Exactly. And crucially, it's always validating that recovery space, making sure it's intact, making sure it's up to date. It also uses compliance rules to constantly enforce security.
The sources say most rebuilds finish in under 30 minutes. And that includes the operating system, all the apps, the drivers, user profiles, even the secure domain join. Some sources even mention under 15 minutes.
Under 15 minutes for a full rebuild. OS, apps, data, settings, everything. Anyone who's ever, waited hours, maybe even days for IT to fix a broken machine will immediately get how huge that difference is for productivity.
It's transformative.
Yeah, and for a CIO.
Or CISO, this isn't just tech support getting faster. It feels like a fundamental shift in managing operational risk. Think about the resources, the budget tied up in complex DR planning.
Okay, so rapid recovery from disasters is obviously a massive plus. But the sources seem to suggest Homage goes beyond just that disaster scenario. It touches on other critical parts of modern PC management. How does it ensure that broader business continuity? What does it offer that maybe other endpoint management tools lack?
Right, it's not just about the big disaster, it's about keeping things running smoothly day to day and being ready instantly. So Homage lets you trigger that failover quickly, rebuild lots of systems in minutes, like we said, and make sure the DR
Process itself is reliable, always ready, and it works for office PCs, remote PCs, doesn't matter. Crucially, it aims to enable all business functions immediately on failover, not just
Exactly. The sources call it an end-to-end automated solution for managing, repairing, securing, and re-imaging endpoints, on-prem, remote, even disconnected devices. And includes specific features too, like Data Protect Snapshot for quick point-in-time recovery, Data Protect Rollback to easily undo changes if something goes wrong, like a bad update, and an encryption handler to manage drive encryption seamlessly during rebuild.
Okay, so lots of features beyond just the bare metal rebuild.
Yeah, think about the benefits for an IT manager.
It maintains security, supports remote workers effectively. It's even positioned as an autopilot alternative, suggesting it's faster and easier for initial device setup. A big theme is allowing organizations
Sounds incredibly comprehensive. You touched on security quite a bit there and also mentioned zero trust security earlier. That's a massive buzzword, a huge focus for companies right now. How does a system like Swimmage actually take the idea of zero trust and make it practical, make it work day to day for IT teams?
Yeah, it's positioned as a fundamental piece of a zero trust framework, not just compatible, but integral. It integrates with existing security tools, your antivirus, your EDR, etc., ensuring PCs stay secure, healthy, and compliant
wherever they are. The automation aspect is key here for zero trust. It shifts security from being purely reactive to being more proactive, even self-healing. It assumes breaches can...
Well, let's break it down. First, continuous monitoring and verification. Swimmage is constantly checking. It pulls down updated compliance rules and enforces them. It monitors the health of the security software itself, can restart services, reinstall agents if needed, even lock the PC if something's wrong. It also watches for changes in context, IP address, location, network usage, which could trigger re-authentication demands, and it constantly verifies those known good sources for repairs. Crucially, it can actually prevent a user from logging in until the full
security stack is confirmed active and compliant.
Wow. Okay, so it enforces compliance before use, not just checks afterwards.
Exactly. That's a big part of Zero Trust Verify First. Then, limiting the impact of a breach, if something does get through. Swimage locks access to critical system files, protecting the OS integrity. It encrypts its own server communication, and it's designed to respond in seconds if a breach is detected or triggered. That could mean disabling the network connection, locking the system completely, or initiating a full clean redeployment using those validated sources we talked about, wiping the slate clean. Regardless of where the PC is or what state it's in, restoring everything, apps, policies, data.
Instant remediation, essentially.
Pretty much. And finally, fully automated data analytics and responses. It gives admins a dashboard, full visibility into endpoint health and compliance. It can monitor for specific conditions and automatically apply actions based on rules you configure. Maybe just report an issue, maybe lock the user out, maybe trigger a self-repair, or even a full redeploy. Graduated responses.
So it's not just recovery, it's ongoing automated security, posture management, and response. That level of automation. It really does sound like it transforms IT operations from constantly fighting fires.
That seems to be the goal, yes. Proactive and automated.
Okay, we've covered the how and the what in quite some detail. Let's shift focus a bit to the who really benefits most from a system like this. And what are the practical day-to-day use cases beyond that big, scary disaster scenario?
The range is actually pretty wide, according to the sources. Of course, there's OS upgrades and migrations, think Windows 11 rollouts, PC refreshes, zero-touch deployments for new hires.
Remote recovery and reimaging is huge for supporting distributed workforces. And critically, cybersecurity incident remediation, specifically calling out eliminating ransomware and malware.
Standardizing environments. Who are the target roles then?
Several groups. CIOs and CISOs. Obviously, they care about cutting costs, boosting compliance, reducing risk. IT managers, the sources suggest, it saves them hours every week by automating routine tasks. MSPs, managed service providers, they can use it to offer higher value services to their clients. And InfoSec teams ensuring security protocols are actually enforced consistently across all devices.
And it seems applicable across different sectors.
Definitely. They mention it's used in over 85 countries. And it's trusted by industries with really strict regulations. Healthcare for enforcing high PA compliance. Finance for meeting tough audit and recovery requirements. Government agencies, too, leveraging its federal-grade automation.
It's always powerful when you see specific feedback, too.
Yeah.
The sources shared a couple of quotes. Things like, my PC replacement was so fast and easy, I didn't even need to contact the help desk to complete it. Well, that speaks volumes about the user experience.
It does. Less disruption, less frustration.
And another one. We needed help on Monday, and by Tuesday we were deploying systems using Swimage and had completed 60 computers in 2 hours with one person.
That highlights the speed and efficiency for IT teams. 60 PCs, 2 hours, one person. That's rapid deployment.
Yeah, it really underscores that this isn't just a break glass in case of fire tool. It seems aimed at solving everyday endpoint headaches, making IT smoother, removing friction.
Exactly. Disaster readiness plus operational efficiency.
Well, this has been quite the deep dive, hasn't it? We started off looking at this critical, yet often maybe under-resourced area, business continuity, disaster
Recovery. And what we've really seen today, looking through your sources, is how solutions like Swimage are presented as, well, almost a shortcut. A shortcut to being genuinely well-informed.
automated stability.
Absolutely. And perhaps the final thought to leave you with, something to mull over. In this world where digital threats just keep evolving, constantly changing, how much hidden risk might your own organization be carrying in its current endpoint management approach? And what does true business continuity really mean for your operations, beyond just, backing up data, especially when everything depends on those endpoints being always on, always secure?
That's a powerful question. Really consider the implications of this kind of automated zero-touch recovery, this
Comprehensive zero-trust security. Think about it in your own professional context. We really hope this deep dive has sparked some curiosity, maybe given you some new insights to navigate the, let's face it,